You read the title and you clicked on the video. Let me just say that this was a complete accident. Hey guys, my name's Lexus Amour David, and today I'm going to tell you about the time that I hit my boyfriend with my car. So a couple years ago, I was in a relationship, and I was in this relationship for 3 years. The person that I was in a relationship with lived 2 minutes away from my house, and we went to the same college. We met when we were 15 years old. Now, his biggest ambition in life was to be in the NFL. He was a part of the high school football team, the college football team, and that was his passion. You're gonna see why that's important in a second. So the second semester of our freshman year in college, I was taking intermediate acting, and we decided that we were gonna go to the school play. So I drove to his house, picked him up, drove us to the college, and we were watching this play. We were arguing like all day. So after the play, I was feeling better. I felt like I had an escape from our argument, and now I was just ready to be over it. We were leaving the play 2.5, 3 hours later. I thought everything was fine, everything was Gucci, and then he was still mad. He was making comments about the male lead in the play, and the male lead was in my class. And so he's like, I know that you were probably checking him out, and this and that and whatever. When the male counterpart, the girl that played his love interest, was halfway naked throughout the whole play, dancing on the stage. And so it's just like, you had a half-naked woman on the stage, and you're gonna come at me and say that I was looking at somebody? So the argument starts again, and we just start walking to the car. We leave the cluster of people, the actors, the actresses, the audience, everybody, and we start going towards the parking lot. Now, it is dark. It is around 11 o'clock at night. The performing arts building was the only thing lit up. So walking to the car, we were doing our little petty banter between ourselves, and something was said that pissed him off. And he's just like, I'm walking off. And I'm just like, bye. But then it's just like, okay, wait, no, he's really going. He just starts walking away. And while he's walking away, he's leaving me in this parking lot at night alone. And he's just like, I'm walking to the store. Okay, the closest store is like a 20-something minute walk. You're not only gonna walk away from me, but you're gonna ditch me here? At this point, we were only dating for 2 years, but it's like, it is dark and we're alone. There's 2 of us, and you're gonna leave your girlfriend alone to go storm off? I completely understand getting mad to the point that you just need to walk off some steam, you just need to gather your thoughts. Completely, 100% understand that. In fact, when I took anger management, that's what they told me to do. But it's like, you can't just leave me here. From the college to the nearest store, you have to go down this hill with no sidewalks. The only light is the light at the intersection. There's no like street lights, and then there's traffic, so you get the lights from the headlights, but that's it. We live in a desert. There's not a lot of street lights, there's not a lot of sidewalks, and there's not a lot of people. In the same respect, it's like we're both like 19 years old. I picked you up from your house. I said goodbye to your dad, I picked you up. Your dad is gonna watch me take you back home in the same piece that I picked you up from. Like, you can't just, I'm just gonna walk off. And so I ran to my car, across the parking lot, I ran, got in my car, and then I started following him. I'm driving next to him like 1 to 3 miles an hour, and I'm just trying to talk some sense into him. It's dark, it's dangerous, just come in the car. We can talk about it here. If you don't want to talk to me, let me take you home. And at this point, I was getting super annoyed, and I was frustrated, and I was getting kind of anxious. And so it's just like, okay, I'm sorry, just get in the car, like, I don't know what you want me to say, I don't know what you want me to do, but this isn't cool. I still have to go back home to my grandma because I have a curfew. This isn't cool. Why are you doing this? And he is ignoring me. He's giving my ass the silent treatment while he just walks on. So now we're even further away from the people. We're still towards the parking lot, but we're even further away from the crowd, the lights, and we approach this stop sign. If you turn right, you go to the intersection, which exits the college. If you go straight, you go through the trees if you're on foot, because you can't drive through the trees. If he would have went straight, he would have went through the trees and exited the college that way. This dude turned left. Turning left keeps you on the campus. I was on his left side. He turned right in front of my car. There's only 2 of us. How are you gonna walk in front of my car and not tell me. In the second that he decided to go in front of my car, impact. Now keep in mind, I was going 1 to 3 miles an hour. I was turtling it. In the second that I looked down to like put my foot on the brake, as soon as I flicked my eyes back up, he wasn't there anymore. Bros, my heart. It felt like I was going to have a stroke, a heart attack, some type of something. I threw my car in park, I hopped out the door, and then I just see him on the ground. And it's just like, I booked it to him. It was like 4 steps, but it felt like the fastest I've ever gotten to him in my life. And I start crouching down next to him, and it's just like, are you okay? And like, I'm like panicking, and I'm starting to cry, and it's just like, I am so freaking sorry. But it's also like, I was mad, like, why the hell did you just walk in front of my car? The first thing that this dude says is, what's wrong with you? You could have ruined my football career. Let's just take a moment to go through all of my thoughts. At that point in time, we had known each other for like 5 years. We had already sized wedding rings. He told my grandmother, my mother, and my father that we were gonna get married. In my heart, this dude was already my husband. So it's just like, what the hell did I just do? What if he's not okay? You know? So these things are going through my head. This Negro, he was white. This Negro is thinking about playing with some balls. How am I gonna explain this to the popo? He ran into my car, officer. How many times does something happen between a white person and a not white person, and the not white person goes to prison? I don't do well on eating plans, and I don't look good in orange. How am I gonna survive prison? I'm going through a midlife crisis, and you're thinking about football. Now is the time when I contemplated getting back in my car, putting it in reverse, and then putting it in drive to make sure you feel it. Seriously? Football is the only thing you're thinking about? Right after he says that, a car pulls up and the man gets out. And the man says, what happened? And then I forget the idiot on the ground, and my face goes white. And why did I tell him I hit him with my car? He's like, did you call the police already? And I was like, no, I didn't. And he's like, okay, I will. This fool talking about calling the police. Oh my gosh. All this happened because of a stupid, petty argument. I'm going to jail. I'm going to prison. My life is over. At the same time, it was like, this car is not my car. It's my parents' car. So I'm gonna go home and get a whooping, then I'm going to jail. And then the school police came, an ambulance came, and the school police talked to me while the ambulance checked him out. The school police is just like, what's going on? And I told him, we were arguing, I tried to talk to him, I hit him with my car. And she's like, you wanna call your car insurance? She said, because you're on campus, the school police is gonna take care of it, not the actual police. Thank you, Jesus. And then because he was getting checked out, there was just like these awkward like looks over, because part of me is just like, please forgive me. Please forgive me. But it's also like, please don't just push it off on me. Don't play a victim. You walked in front of a car. And so it's just like, so many things were going in my mind. And then he's like limping. And he walks back, and then she leaves, and he basically tells me like, the guys, the ambulance workers, medics, whatever they're called, he's like, they were teasing me, they're making fun of me because there's barely a scratch on my leg. The top layer of skin was barely like grazed a little bit by my tire. And so I see that, but I also see him limping. So it's like, okay, maybe it's an internal wound and it just doesn't show as much as you feel. But also it's just like, if it was only a scratch, couldn't he have just gotten in the car and we could have just pretend that this didn't happen? Or we could have just like gotten in the car, driven away from everybody who thinks that I'm a freaking murderer, and like, I could have bought you coffee and taken you to the hospital myself. But yeah, so he's like joking about it, and I'm just crying. At this point, I was freaking hysterical, emotional, I'm crying. I like called my parents and I got freaking chewed out, like, blah, 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 blah. I didn't give you a car for this, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, okay, giving me an earful. So I turned the night into this mushy fest, and I basically kissed his butt for the next week. So that's what happened. That's the time that I hit my boyfriend with my car. He lived, I'm not in jail. And now I'm able to tell you this story. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, my name's Lexus More David. Please subscribe if you're not already. If you are as relieved as I am that I didn't go to jail, give this video a thumbs up. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye! So, if nobody noticed, let me tell you, I bleached my hair. I put the whole process on Snapchat. I put some of it on my Instagram story. Yeah. So, what do you guys think? Some of you guys have been asking me for piano tutorials. I don't know how to play the piano. I know how to play like one song that I looked up on YouTube.